Welcome to the Player Supreme Show at ZenMac.com. I'm your motherfucking host, Player Supreme.
Oh my God, you are huge!
Welcome to the Player Supreme Show at ZenMac.com. I'm your motherfucking host, Player Supreme.
Welcome to the show today, fellas. And today I want to talk about what women want. The first thing that I found that women want is physical safety. Now, you got to recognize that women are not as big and strong as we are. And women get raped. I forgot what the stats were on it, like every few seconds, every day. So women, they need to feel physically safe with you. Because she don't know if you're going to be a crazy motherfucker. Look at George Soudini. Or if you're going to rape her, kill her, kidnap her. She lives her life in fear. And don't let a bunch of drinks in her when you see her at the club, fool you. Because an intelligent woman still has to be aware of her physical safety in this world. Unfortunately, there's so many simps out there that they got to take the alternative routes to getting laid or making sex happen for them. And it's unfortunate. The second thing that women want and need to feel is an emotional connection. An emotional connection. I bet if you do a poll right now, poll the women in your lives, you talk about if they like to feel emotional connection, they'll rank that high up there on their list of needs and wants. Now, this is what the problem with guys who tend to be kind of smart. You shut off your emotional side, and you're like Spock's, live long and prosper. And you bring that live long and prosper shit to the game. That's why the pickup artist is having so much trouble, because he hasn't de-nerdified himself. He's still coming from that extreme left brain. And women want to feel an emotional connection with you. When you have sex with them, how many of you guys... Now, I'm an African American, and in our community we had a saying about Caucasian guys. How many of you guys do it like white guys? Just ram the pussy and don't even think about, connecting with her emotionally. No offense to the Caucasian guys listening to me. This is coming from, my childhood, that our community said about the way, Caucasian guys fucked. Brothers and Latin guys are supposed to be about making love. And I found that to actually not to be totally true in any of the communities out there. It's just a, fallacy. But anyway, emotional connection is very important to her while you're making love to her. She wants to feel that emotional connection. Now, number 3, and if you guys have done any internet dating, this is where women who have been brokenhearted end up. And top of their list is trust. Now, there's some idiots out there, and this community has a bunch of them, that think that you cannot meet a pretty girl online, and I found that to not be true. But these women, they're looking for someone they can trust. If you think about it, as I relay sometimes in my podcast shows, ancient time periods, women had to be able to trust that man that he would come back and take care of the family, or help her raise the young if she got pregnant. Now, she doesn't want a man that's going to disappear if she got pregnant. She wants to trust that you're man enough to handle your responsibilities as a motherfucking man. That doesn't mean that you have to, in this day and age, do what I did and get married. No, but it just means you got to handle responsibilities like a man. She wants to trust that you're also a real man. Now, the fourth thing, women, they come from their gut instinct, so they're more intuitive than us men are. And you nerds, don't discount intuition. I know there's no scientific data on that you guys need data, but women are very intuitive. So destiny is something that they strongly feel. Like, if you could make her feel like we were destined to meet, that is a good thing for her. Think about that. If she believes that it was destiny that brought the two of you together, she will stick to you like glue. Which is closely related to the fifth thing I want to talk about, which is surrender to something greater than herself. If you're able to seduce a woman like I have many times on the first night, one thing I noticed is that they want to use that whole, it was like we were just swept off our feet when they talk to their friends. That's to relieve herself of the guilt of getting up the pussy so fast. Women want to believe in that surrender to something greater than themselves, that God meant for this to happen. Because no woman wants to be thought of as a hoe, as a tramp. She wants to be able to surrender to this all-powering emotion that's over everybody and just swept the two of you together. It wasn't you and your game skills, it was something else that brought you two together and caused her to lay down with you. And that's okay with me. Finally, and one of the most important things, if you tend to be a nerd, is emotional variety. Unfortunately, women are emotional creatures, and they need their emotions stimulated. How many times have you guys on the forums seen a guy get a hot chick, and I talked about this before, or I've talked about this before, they get a hot chick, they always get blown out, they come back on the forums, I reverted back to my old AFC self, basically they became simps again. And they did not give that girl any emotional variety. The real flat person that's inside, that boring individual, came to the surface instead of changing who they were. Boredom is like kryptonite to a relationship and to a woman. Women have these emotional needs. They're biologically triggered emotions sometimes. She has her hormonal cycle that triggers emotions. So you have to stimulate emotional variety within your woman. One thing that I've noticed is that I've seen women post that they deliberately will start arguments just because they're fucking bored. Just because they need some emotional variety. So I learned to make sure that I gave the women, when I was in the game, lots of emotional variety, like a roller coaster, up and down, up and down. And I made sure that I didn't just display an even kill emotion. I got hot, I got mellow. I would get hot, I would get mellow. So they knew that I'm not some kind of a punk that's going to take bad behavior and just be all mellow about it. Be all logical, like I was when I first got in the game, way back in the 1980s, when I started dating my first girlfriend who, you know, as you guys know, I got married to. I used to walk around like this, and I combed my hair back when I had hair, and had the little devil's peak on my head, and I acted like Spock. I was trying to be left brain, and I was trying to disconnect from my emotions. And I recall, this is how bad it was, and I was, my ex-wife wanting to shatter that cold edge that I put on. So she hit me. And I said, you know what, Dottie, that's illogical. Me. Trying to be something I wasn't. Anyway, she did it again. And then the real person broke out. And she never did that again. But she was trying to teach me something. That women like emotions. Women need emotions. And I'm not saying you gotta become a fucking simp, crying all over the fucking place and acting all wimpy. The worst thing you could do is buy into what the feminazis put out there, that women